Very good morning, dear students. This video is for class 10th subject science chapter number 12 electricity, and this is lecture number 1.
Now we have studied about the chemistry. Today onwards we are starting with our physics portion and the first chapter is electricity. What is the content of today's lecture? So we have electricity, uses of electricity, charge, types of charges, properties of charges, potential, potential difference and current. Electricity. Electricity is a source of energy that has made our life comfortable and easy. Because electricity is used to glow bulbs, tubes to heat the electrical iron, to heat water, to operate refrigerators and air conditioners, to run electric train, to operate electric bells, to operate the petrol pumps, to fill the fuel in the cars and buses, to operate motors and machines in the factories, to run our computers, and to operate the projector in the cinema halls. Electric charge. In order to understand the concept of electricity, we must know about the electric charge. What is electric charge? Electric charge is a physical property of a matter or substance which causes it to experience an electric force when placed near other matter or substance. So electric charge is the physical property of a matter or substance because of which any electrical force is experienced by another matter or substance. Flow of electrons in a particular direction is also called charge. We have two types of charge, positive and negative. That means there are two types of charges and these two types of charges follow a rule that like charges they repel each other and opposite charges attract each other. As you can see here, when we have two positive charges and they come in contact with each other, they will repel each other and move away from each other. Same happens in the case of two negative charges, but when one positive charge comes in contact with one negative charge, these two charges attract each other. Now, how any body acquires charge? A substance may acquire charge by rubbing. This is one of the simplest methods to acquire charge by any substance. When a glass rod is rubbed with the silk cloth, then glass rod acquires one kind of charge, that is positive, and the silk cloth acquires other kind of charge, that is negative, because the glass rod is having the electrons, because glass rod is made up of material which is having protons, electrons and neutrons. When silk cloth is rubbed against the surface of glass rod, then the electrons which were there in the outer surface, on the surface of glass rod, they come out of the orbits in which they were revolving, and hence because the glass rod loses the electron, it becomes positively charged, and the silk cloth that acquires that electron becomes negatively charged. So when the rubbed glass rod is kept close to silk cloth, both attract each other because they are having two different kinds of charges. They experience a force on each other, and that force is electrical force in nature. A substance having electric charge is said to be electrified or charged. Now, what is the theory of electrification or charging a substance? Substances, they consist of atoms and each atom is electrically neutral. As we know that in a nucleus of atom, we have protons and neutrons. And around the nucleus we have electrical charge, that is negative charge around it. So the net electric charge on each atom is 0 because of the presence of protons and electrons. In fact, atom consists of protons and electrons in equal numbers. So the net charge becomes 0. The positive charge protons are tightly bound to the nucleus of the atom, and the negative charges, that is electron, revolve around the nucleus in different orbits. Now these electrons in the outermost orbit are loosely bound to the nucleus as compared to the electrons in the inner orbits. When the substance is rubbed with another material, the loosely bound electrons are removed from their atoms, and these electrons are transferred to the material with which the substance is rubbed. Now, the atom of the substance losing the electron do not have equal number of electrons and protons. These atoms have more protons than electrons now. Hence, the atoms losing electrons have net positive charge. On the other hand, the material to which free electrons are transferred has negative charge. SI unit of charge is coulomb, and it is denoted by the letter C. Charge on one electron is minus 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 coulombs, whereas the charge on a proton is 1.6 into 10 raised to power minus 19 coulombs. The mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 raised to power minus 31 kg, and the mass of a proton is 1.67 into 10 raised to power minus 27 kgs. Now let us study about the properties of electric charges. The first property is that like charges repel each other while unlike charges attract each other. Second is electrical charges are added algebraically. Third is electric charge is conserved. Here, charge conservation means charge can never be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transferred from one form to another form, or you can say from one substance to another substance. Fourth electrical property of charge is electric charge is quantized. And this quantization of charge is having a mathematical equation given by Q is equals to plus minus Ne, where Q is the electric charge, N is the number of electrons transferred. As I told you that electrons or charge can be transferred. So number of electrons transferred, and E is the charge on one electron. This plus and minus sign indicates that when there is an interaction in such a way that attraction between two charges are there, then it will be positive. If there is a repulsion between two types of charges, then it will be negative. But the electric charge is quantized. That also means that electrons can always be transferred in integral numbers. They cannot be transferred in partitions, or you can say that electrons will always be transferred in discrete packets. Now, electric potential and electrical potential difference. The reason around a charged body within which its influence, whose influence? Charged body, can be felt by another charge is known as electric field of the charged body. So we have a charged body, and it is having a reason around itself that when another charge is placed in that region, then that charge will experience a force. That force or that electric force can be force of attraction or it can be a force of repulsion on the basis of type of charge kept in the field of another charge. Then we have when a unit positive charge is placed in the electric field of an electric charge Q. So the charged body is Q and unit positive charge is placed in the electric field of Q. Then unit positive charge will experience an electric force of repulsion in the electric field because both are positive charges and we have studied that like charges always repel each other. Therefore, some electric work, especially this work should be electric in nature, is to be done to bring that unit positive charge from infinity to a point in the electric field of electric charge Q without acceleration. The electric work done per unit charge is called electric potential, or potential you can say the ability or the work done per unit charge to bring it from the infinite position to a particular position in the electric field without accelerating the particle. Electric potential at a point in an electric field is defined as the electrical work done in moving a unit positive charge from infinity to that point in the electric field without acceleration. If W is the work done in moving a charge from Q, if W is the work done in moving a charge Q from infinity to a point in the electric field of another charged body, then electric potential at that point is given by V is equals to W upon Q, where V is the potential because electric potential is denoted by capital V, is equal to W upon Q, where W is the electrical work done and Q is the electric charge. SI unit of electric potential is volt and it is denoted by the letter V. So V is equal to W upon Q, it will be equal to 1 joule because joule is the SI unit of work done, coulomb is the unit of charge, so 1 joule upon 1 coulomb. This way you can define 1 volt. So joule per coulomb can be the unit of electric potential, and combine, if we take this as combined unit, then we can call it as volt. Now if we keep all the terms as unity, then electric potential is said to be 1 volt if 1 joule electric work is done in moving 1 coulomb charge from infinite to that point, then potential will be said as 1 volt. Electric potential is a scalar quantity because it is having only magnitude. Electric potential difference. To understand the concept of electric potential difference, consider a vessel consisting of 2 points or 2 portions A and B as shown in figure here. So you can see here that we have 2 portions A and B. This is one container having 2 portions A and B, and in between there is a valve, and this container is having water in it. As you have seen, the water level in A is higher than water level in B when the valve is closed. We know that the pressure exerted by the liquid in a vessel at the bottom of the vessel is directly proportional to the height of the liquid in the vessel. Therefore, the pressure exerted by the arm A is greater than the pressure exerted by the arm B. It means there is a pressure difference between arm A and B. But when the valve is open, the water flows from A to B of the vessel due to the pressure difference. This flow of water continues till the water level in the bottom of the vessels become equal. There is no pressure difference between two arms. This activity shows that the water flows from higher pressure to lower pressure, or we can say that the water flows from one region to another region only if there is a pressure difference between the two regions. Similarly, electrons in a conductor flows from one end to another end of the conductor if there is electric pressure difference, and this is called electric potential difference between the ends of the conductor. This electric pressure difference is called the electric potential difference. The electric potential difference across the ends of the conductor is maintained by a dry cell or a battery. As this was performed by the valve in the container. But here we need a dry cell or a battery to maintain the potential difference across the ends of the conductor. When a conductor is connected across the electrodes of a cell, then one end of the conductor is at the positive potential or higher potential and another end of the conductor is at the negative potential. This electric potential difference moves the electrons in the conductor from one end to another or from lower potential to higher potential. Electrical potential difference between point A and point B is defined as the electrical work done in moving a unit positive charge from point B to point A. Standard international units of electric potential difference is volt and denoted by V. Del V, or you can say the difference in the electrical potential is given as VA minus VB. That is electric potential at A minus electric potential at B will be equal to W upon Q, as we were having the formula for electric potential, and this is also the potential difference, so it will also be having the same formula. What is the instrument that is used to measure the potential difference across the conductors, across the ends of the conductor? So that is voltmeter. Voltmeter, which measures the voltage or the potential across the ends of the conductor, is called voltmeter. So voltmeter is used to measure the electric potential difference. This device is a high resistance device. Resistance of an ideal voltmeter is infinite. It is having a very high resistance so that it can measure the difference between the two ends of the conductor. Now this must be a question in your mind, that how a voltmeter is connected in an electric circuit. So the voltmeter is always connected in parallel across the conductor or wire to measure the electrical potential difference. As you know that this is the potential difference between the two ends of the conductor. So there is a need to place the voltmeter in such a way that it is connected with the two ends or 2 points of the conductor. As you can see it here, that here we have a wire or conductor in which the current is flowing. Why the current is flowing? Because here we have higher potential and here we have lower potential. So here we have higher potential and this side we have lower potential. So the current will always flow from higher potential to lower potential. And that is why we have to connect the voltmeter at 2 points of the conductor, and that always makes a parallel connection. That conductor and the voltmeter are parallel to each other, and that is why we say that voltmeter is always connected in parallel across a conductor. Now, important term, that is electrical current. What is electric current? The flow of electric charge. And what is electric charge? It is the electron in a conductor is known as electric current. In a metallic conductor, we know that each atom has one or more than one loosely bound electrons in its outer orbit. These loosely bound electrons are considered as the free electrons, as they can move from one part to another part of the conductor. The free electrons in a metallic conductor, they have a negative charge. Since free electrons move throughout the conductor, so they are the charge carriers in the conductor. Here you can see that this is one of the conductor, and these are the free electrons which are revolving in the conductor. But now there is a random motion of all these electrons. But as soon as this conductor will be connected across the battery or a cell, then these electrons will start moving in a particular direction, because now here in the conductor electric field will be generated and all the electrons will try to move in the direction of electric field, because now the random motion will be minimized because of the effect of cell. So here you can see the one end of the cell, positive end of the cell is connected to one end of the conductor and negative terminal is connected to another end of the conductor. So this cell creates a positive potential here and a negative potential here. The charge carriers in a metallic conductor are known as conduction electrons because they help in the conduction of electric charge. The flow of these electrons in the conductor constitutes an electric current. Electric current is defined as the amount of electric charge flowing through any cross section of a conductor which is having uniform cross section in unit time. So it can be given as with the help of a mathematical formula as, if Q be the charge flowing through a cross section of conductor in time t, then electrical current, which is denoted by I, is given by I is equals to charge upon time, that is Q upon T. Standard international units, that is SI unit of electric current is ampere. So ampere is the unit in which current is measured. Current through a conductor is said to be 1 ampere if 1 coulomb electric charge flows through any cross section of the conductor in 1 second. So when all the terms in the formula are kept to be unity, then the current is said to be 1 ampere. Here you can see the charge is 1 coulomb and time is 1 second. So 1 coulomb per second is the 1 ampere current. Electric current is a scalar quantity. Why? Because electric current follows the scalar addition law. What is the device that is used to measure the current? That is ammeter, ammeter, ampere meter, or you can say the current measurement device. Ammeter is used to measure electric current in a wire or a conductor. Ammeter is a very low resistance device. The resistance of an ideal ammeter is 0. Why? Because the ammeter is supposed to measure the flow of current, that how much electric current, electric charge is passing through the cross section of the conductor. If itself it is having a high resistance, then it will not allow the current to pass through the emitter itself, and this will not give the proper readings to us. So that is why the resistance of an ideal emitter should be 0. Now, how an emitter is connected in an electric circuit? An emitter is always connected in series in an electric circuit, because now, unlike voltmeter, we are not supposed to measure the potential difference across the ends of the conductor. Now we have to measure the current which is passing through the conductor. So the emitter should be connected in series or somewhere in between the connections or the conductor. How it is connected? Its positive terminal should be connected to positive terminal of the cell or battery, and negative terminal should be connected to the negative terminal of the cell or battery. This makes the series connections. How an electric current flows in a conductor or wire? We know that a conductor or a wire contains large number of free electrons. These free electrons move randomly in all the directions between the atoms of the wire, or we can say the copper wire, which is generally used for the fittings in the electric circuits. To make the electric current flow in the wire is connected across the terminals of a cell, because the cell maintains the potential difference across the ends of the conductor, only because of which charge, or you can say electrons, they move from one place to another place. So the potential difference is set up across the ends of the conductor, and this potential difference drifts the electrons with the very small velocity from one end to another end, and of the conductor, hence current begins to flow in a conductor. So as I was showing you in the diagram, that the random motion is diminished with the help of this potential difference, and the electrons, they start flowing in a particular direction, and hence the conduction of the charge is there in the conductor. Now what will be the direction of this electric current which is flowing in the conductor? As a convention, the direction of electric current is in the direction of flow of positive charge, however, in a conductor, because electric current is due to the flow of electrons. Here you can see that electrons are flowing from one point to another point, and we know that like charges, they always repel each other, where unlike charges attract each other. So this is the cell, so this is creating a negative potential here, so it is providing the electrons from this end itself. So the electrons which are provided by this terminal of the battery will repel these electrons in the conductor, and hence they will move away from this terminal. But this is the positive potential, or you can say the positive terminal, which will attract the negative electrons. So the negative terminal is repelling the electrons, and the electrons are getting attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery. So the direction of electrons is from negative to positive, but the direction of conventional current is from positive to negative. So you can always remember that the direction of current is always opposite to the flow of current, or opposite to the direction of electrons. So in a wire, electron flow from negative terminal of the cell to the positive terminal, and hence the conventional direction of electric current is opposite to the direction of flow of electrons in the conductor. But remember, electric potential difference is the cause and electric current is the effect. That means this is electric potential because of which electric current or flow of charge is possible. So flow of charge or current is the effect of potential difference. Electric potential difference causes the electric current to be produced. So potential difference is the cause and electric current is the effect of electric potential difference. Now let us see the homework of today's lecture. So question 1 is define the unit of current. Question number 2 is calculate the number of electrons consisting of 1 coulomb of charge. Question number 3 is name a device that helps to maintain a potential difference across a conductor. Question number 4 is what is meant by saying that a potential difference between 2 points is 1 volt. So this was all about today's lecture. In the next lecture, we'll start about the electric circuits and the Ohm's law. Till then, take care and goodbye.